Good morning, all you good lookers out there. This is TJ McClellan, broker of Fitness Realty, back for another little update. I know I said I wasn't going to do these every day, but I'm finding it to be kind of fun and just putting it out there. This one is actually going to be all about an article that Crypto.com put out that is an educational article. It's an educational article about Bitcoin and what it is, what it does, how it started, and a few little odds and ends in the article. But on their platform, they have the missions, like I was talking about yesterday, that you can earn some diamonds, and diamonds just get you rewards. But one of the diamond rewards or missions for today was to read this article. Super short. It was just a really fun read, and so I snapshotted the whole thing and wanted to put it on here. So all the rights go to Crypto.com for writing it and putting it together. I did not write any of it. I'm just putting it on here to show people what they're missing out on. Okay, one last plug. Bobby Lawrence Karate. If you don't go to karate, you should. Okay, let's change this picture here. All right, we're going to start with picture number 1. All right, what is Bitcoin? As an easy start, think of Bitcoin as some numbers stored on the internet. As more and more people start to trade Bitcoin, it gradually becomes a more recognized medium of exchange. Bitcoin has been referred by some as the currency of the internet. I like that last one, currency of the internet. It really is pushing us to the digital age, which we were already using digital currency in the form of your credit cards and things, but this is pushing that even further. Let's see, I think I have a different slide for this, or a different screenshot. Okay, so who created Bitcoin? This is something that my mom asked me 3 days ago or 2 days ago. I had forgotten the name, but it was Satoshi Nakamoto, which is nobody really knows this real identity, so that's still kind of a mystery. It would be kind of fun just sitting down and saying, hey, how did you come up with this? You know, like, what was the thought behind this? But the paper came back out in 2008, and it was titled Bitcoin, a Peer-to-Peer Electronic Cash System. So let's talk about the peer-to-peer part, right? I'm sure you've been seeing that our market and just the economy in general is moving towards a peer-to-peer, I don't know what you want to call that, model. And you can see it all over the place. So I'll give you a couple of examples. I'm sure you're already thinking about those, but it's the Airbnbs, it's the Lyft, Uber, Uber Eats, Grubhub. There's even peer-to-peer lending now, like Lend.io, LendingTree. What was the other one that I used to do? Prosper. So I used to be in one of those. So you can kind of see the internet and digital currency and the digital age is helping us move to a faster marketplace where people have a product and they can get it to their public or their buyers much, much more quickly and for a cheaper cost, right? Airbnb was designed to take out the middleman or the hotel industry and be able to make it so that anybody could start cash flowing on their properties. All right, and then it's electronic cash, of course, right down there at the bottom. But I think I've got another picture for that. Okay, so electronic cash. There have been many past attempts to develop electronic cash, but what makes Bitcoin stand out is its clever use of existing technologies like cryptography and distributed system to make it highly secure, is what's behind this little chat symbol, and efficient. And we're going to talk about the security because it actually talks about how it works. I'm actually really excited to share all this information because I think that people are scared of the unknown, and this might help you get through the unknown and start asking questions or start being able to see through what makes you scared about this. All right, so how does Bitcoin work? There's a sender. miners that validate the transaction, and receivers. So Bitcoin uses blockchain technology to make the system work. Normal users like you and me can use it to send and receive money easily, but the real difficult work underneath is handled by miners. Miners are a specialized group of people who are responsible for maintaining the Bitcoin system, and they may or may not even know each other, and everyone, including you and me, are welcome to join. It's a little harder for you and me. There's some computer science people that sometimes watch these. They're going to tell you it's really kind of hard for you and me, regular people, to turn our computer into a Bitcoin mining machine. And you can just Google this, Bitcoin miner warehouse, and there's YouTube videos about warehouses full of computers mining for Bitcoin. So what we would do would be very, very small. But you could do it. Okay, miners need to spin up their machines with a lot of processing power to store the data, handle and broadcast transactions, and solve a complex mathematical puzzle called proof of work to reach consensus. So when you send a new transaction to the Bitcoin network, miners will pick up your transaction and do all the complicated work mentioned above under the hood. So they're doing that all in the background. So you may wonder why miners would volunteer to maintain this decentralized network, and this is one of those things that I was talking about with my mom, is that they're not doing it for free. They're highly incentivized to continue this network and make sure that it continues to run. And that's because they're not doing it for free, like I said. Miners are incentivized to do so by receiving mining rewards and transaction fees, of course paid in Bitcoin, which is why a lot of people love to mine for Bitcoin, because they can get paid for their work and turn that into dollars and pay for their overhead or expenses, or if they're running really lean and are able to keep some of the Bitcoin, then as Bitcoin becomes more valuable, the work they did last year, for instance, becomes super valuable compared to this year, just based on the Bitcoin new purchase price. We've covered enough material, so let's move on from that. There's a whole science behind all of that. I won't get too far into that. This is like blowing over the top of the material. Okay, why is Bitcoin so revolutionary? So Bitcoin's the first payment network that's fully autonomous and self-sustaining, where no single party or incidents can intervene or terminate the system. You can use it anytime, anywhere in the world, as long as you have internet access. And it paves the way for the next technological revolution since the internet, or global digital currency without a middleman and fees. So the other interesting aspects of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are things that are below, which I think I snapshotted. Something I want to mention here is that it is something that you can use all the time. It is a little slower than some of the other cryptocurrency networks, but it is something that you can use. Let's see. I think they get into it on this next one. Yes. Okay. So other interesting aspects of Bitcoin that we were talking about just a second ago. Limited supply. So unlike the US dollar where they can just print more of it, you can't print more of it. I'm not going to get into details about why that is or how that process works, but just think if there was only 18 or 19 million US dollars in the system right now, and it went up very, very slowly, how much each one of those dollars would be worth in realistic purchasing power. It's like that. Right now, I'll get to what the purchase price of a Bitcoin is here on the very last slide, but it does have a limited supply, which is nice. So you can't have some government out there just printing it willy-nilly. It's relatively fast. A 1 hour settlement versus 2 days for a wire transfer. I've had wire transfers go out same day, and that's pretty easy. So I feel like they really padded this 2 day answer. But the 1 hour for payment with Bitcoin is pretty fast, but it's still pretty slow in terms of how fast like a Visa card can transfer funds. So it is nice. It is slow, and that makes it there's room for opportunity for other companies to do it faster. All right, everybody has different reasons to love Bitcoin. We encourage you to join us. Blah blah blah. Since this was put out by Crypto.com, of course they want you to join their platform. Okay, I don't know if it was anywhere here. I can't remember which screen it's on, but I want to mention really fast that due to the decentralized nature of Bitcoin and that nobody's really controlling it, like a government or a business or anything like that, it's really decentralized. So it makes it a great way to exchange funds or make transactions without having some entity in the middle, like a bank or like a government agency, stuff like that. So it is really nice that way. It might be on one of these. I just wanted to make sure that I threw that out there. Okay, for Crypto.com, our Crypto.com coin acts as a utility token for you to reserve the Visa card, which, like I said in previous videos, that's one of my favorite benefits. I really think that bridges the gap of how to spend it, and what to do with it. Like, if you buy a bunch of crypto and you're like, okay, cool, I bought a bunch. Well, now what do I do? You can get a Visa card and actually utilize your funds. And then you can get benefits and various services like Crypto Earn, like we talked about yesterday, and Crypto Credit, which I haven't really checked out. And then you can use the payment side, Crypto.com Pay, which is like buying gift cards. So I think for me to test this out, I'll probably come on and buy a bunch of gift cards for people that are watching this video, or some of my staff members just for fun. And then I'll check out how the 10% cashback works. So as of today, there are over 2,000 different cryptocurrencies, which I think this is a little shy. I think it's probably closer to 15,000 on CoinMarketCap. But you can track the top 200 on the app, which is nice to watch. All right. This, I think it's on this one actually, where it talks about decentralization. So is Bitcoin safe? Relatively speaking, yes. There is some caveats to that, though. As you can see, they say yes and no. While the Bitcoin network is reasonably safe and has endured real-life usage for over 10 years, it is equally important for users to be cautious of how they store crypto and protect their keys, as users often lose their access or compromise it. Case in point here. I don't remember if it was 50 Cent or it might have been 50 Cent, the rapper, but he had sold one of his whatever you call that. What do you call that? One of his songs or whatever. One of his album releases. There we go. So he released his album and took some form of payment in Bitcoin. And not all of it, of course, but he did take some Bitcoin. And I believe that they had lost access to that wallet because at the time, Bitcoin was worth like nothing. And then when Bitcoin hit like 15 or 20,000, maybe 2 years ago or a year ago, they realized that they had like 9,000 Bitcoin or something on this wallet from when they released the album. And don't quote me on any of those. I just kind of remember hearing that story. But it is easy to lose your keys or your access points into your wallet. So you have to be really, really careful. It's not like you could go to the bank and say, hey, I lost my login information, and they can just give it to you right there as they restore your identity, because they don't, or Bitcoin, the network and the wallets, they don't keep track of your keys. So if you lose your keys, your wallet is essentially lost and just floating around on the network. which is another interesting thing with the process of scarcity, because once somebody happens to do that, they can no longer access those funds, and essentially it's dead coin, but it's still on the system, but it's not being able to be transferred back and forth or exchanged, which, if you don't have access to it, it's not like nobody knows that, but eventually a lot of those put together makes it so that there are less coins being traded, and so the scarcity stays like that. Or what I'm trying to say is there would be less in the system being traded, which creates more value in the rest of the coins. Anyway, I probably explained that wrong, so sorry about that. Okay, so to keep your cryptocurrency holdings safe, though, you should store your cryptocurrencies on professional wallets, so utilizing good people or good businesses, and then using institutional grade storage solutions, like keeping your keys safe, changing your password a lot, stuff like that. Yep, it talks about that. Keep your password confidential. Okay, this video is getting a little long, so I apologize, but this is really good information, so I hope you watch and stay till the end. But how is the cryptocurrency market different? Let's look at this one right here so I can make this larger. So, a few key factors. It's the only asset class that can be traded 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never sleeps. Unlike, let's say, our stock exchange, it technically doesn't sleep because you can trade and stuff over the like at night and over the weekend, but it's not the same. And I'm not a stock trader, so I couldn't really dive into that. But cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is open 24 hours a day. It never shuts down, never sleeps. The global market is without geographical barriers. You could use this Bitcoin in Zimbabwe, Australia, wherever. It's the first payment network that's fully autonomous, like we talked about before, and it's self-sustaining and decentralized, which decentralized, that's one of my favorite pieces and why I really enjoy talking about it. It is highly liquid and highly efficient market for major cryptocurrencies. Some of the ones that are the altcoins that aren't so mainstream, those are really risky for one, and you might not be able to move that money, so just be careful. And then it's a new it is a new and high growth market, which attracts a lot of new talent and capital. Obviously, you guys have seen the price going up from 4 years ago and beyond, so it is happening, and we're creating this digital age right in front of our eyes. It is highly volatile, so some like that and some don't. Okay, one last update. The Bitcoin price, like I said, I was going to touch on this. I just snapshotted the 1 week. Okay, so I just went to 1 week for the snapshot. The current price when I shot this, or snapshotted it, which was like an hour ago, or 20 minutes ago. Bitcoin was $56,386 US per Bitcoin. For the 1 week, it's up 3.46%. So if you put in $100, you'd have 103.46 now. Really quick, this is something that I touched on maybe 3 videos ago. This $1 trillion market cap. Now you can see that. Over the last 24 hours, $32 billion has gone from somebody's hand to somebody else's hand across the Bitcoin network. So you can see there's just a lot happening right here. And then it's ranked number 1 in cryptocurrencies right now. So the reason that I show this 1 week one is I want people to start seeing that you could dollar cost average into purchasing Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. So if you bought $100 this week and then it went up to 103.46, that's great. If you just did $100 a week, you would beat the market from trying to time it and being a day trader. Statistics have shown dollar cost averaging in over the long term beats the day trader mindset for the average person, right? Like, I don't have time to sit down and learn how to do it, or watch the market all day and make trades. So what I'm going to do is just purchase a little bit each week and just say thanks and have a nice day. Okay, that has been another market update and a fun video, I think, for crypto.com and just about Bitcoin in general and how it works and what it does. Hopefully we just skimmed the surface and you guys want to learn more. I'll probably be bringing more as those little missions get us to read articles, and I'll just bring those to you guys as well here. Okay, love you guys, and as always, this is TJ McClellan, broker of Fitness Realty. We're just trying to spread the word, get some education out there. Later.